Okay, to start off, would like you to talk about your experiences with the roadshow, what your role is with that, some of your favorite memories of roadshows,
Oh,
and that
yeah,
kind of.
wonderful memories. Well, one of the first things I want to say is that my patriarchal blessing says that I would be called as a leader to lead the youth of Israel. Wow. And so at one point I was the Stake Young Women's president, and then later on we did road shows, and I was a roadshow director. It's kind of interesting because my good friend Dorothy Thurston, she would win road shows almost every year, and I thought, I wonder what she does. And so I thought, I'm going to go sit and watch her when she practices one of these times, just to see what she does. And so what I gained from that was that a lot of music, a little bit of dialogue, a lot of dancing. And so I thought, oh, okay, that's what you need to do for a road show. And so I worked with a good friend, Karen Ravello. She's a good writer. And so she would write the road shows. I mean, we'd come up with ideas, and she would write. And then I would take familiar tunes, songs, and I would put words to those that would fit our theme, and we began winning. And it's, of course, always fun to win. And they had different awards. Had an award for the best script, the best choreography, the best acting, the best overall entertainment, and totally awesome. And then they would give peer group awards also. So sometimes we would win all those different topics. And so anyway, like I said, I sat there watching Dorothy, and I think, okay, this is what she does, so I'm going to try and do that. And it just made it come alive, so to speak. And anyway, so we always looked forward every year to participating like that. And we, at one point, the reason it was called road shows is because you'd perform in one building, and then hurry and get in cars and go to the next building, and you'd perform there, and then you'd get in cars, and then in another, the buildings that were in the stake, you know. So that's what we used to do. And then, of course, they decided, let's just stick to one building, which, of course, was this building with the wonderful big stage. And we would be down here bright and early, and the kids were always eager and willing to come and participate. So you didn't have to coax them. They truly enjoyed it. And we always made sure that the bishopric had a part in it. And that was kind of a cute thing to do. Anyway, when we were doing it, and then the central stake came into being, and so they asked us to come and perform our roadshow there, which we did. And the judges there, they wanted to give us first place. And we said, well, this really isn't our stake, so we're not, you don't need to judge us, you know, but they wanted to give us that anyway. And so I remember times when we would be, even in my kitchen one time, and we'd get this chicken wire, because we had to make a big egg, you know, and so we molded that around the person and stuck napkins in for feathers, and we just came up with fun ideas, you know, and things that would make it work. But the 13th Ward, like I say, when we went to the Central State, they invited us to perform there. We did, but anyway, we couldn't accept any awards. The reward was just having fun doing it. And they used to have quartet festivals in years and years ago, and I remember, I don't know whether you remember Maureen Driggers. Did you ever know her? She was quite a singer, and I remember we would have the festivals. But anyway, the different judges, they would have several judges, of course, as they would judge the road shows. And one of the judges gave us 100 points, and that's the highest that you could get. So anyway, and we won for the most clever title even, and things such as that. But I lots of happy memories, and those who were a part of our award family, they would even invite friends who didn't belong to the church, and so they would come and participate with us, and it was just a way to introduce them to the church and to show them that we accept them. And so anyway, you have any other questions, or?
So out of all these road shows,
Mhm.
was there anyone that was like, you can just leave those.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that was like your favorite or really
Really?
stood out to you as like, oh, this is.
I'd have to probably look at each of those. Do you mind if I get those?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
See?
Go ahead.
Okay. Ooh, let's see. Actually, You and You Too was the title of one of them. And I think this is the one, like this little boy, he just never got called to be on the teams to play ball because he was just little and he wasn't very good. And so he was always left out of everything. And so as we did our road show, we started to spell the word success. But we left the U out, and somebody says, hey, something's missing there. And so it was Merle Robinson. Of course, he was a big husky guy. And he went over and he picked up this little guy who was complaining because he never got to play ball or be on the ball teams. And he says, hey. And they put him, he had a U on him, and he put there, and it spelled success. And so our song was, the only way to spell success is with you and you too. And we made just a fun little song out of that. But anyway, yeah, and I can see Merle, and he was husky, and he had just a really brusque, and he knew just what to say. And then this one is, they used to eat what? And so in that one, I don't remember exactly what all this was, but it was just fun. And like I say, Maureen would play the music and just knew how to do it. And one time we didn't have anyone to do our music. And so several of us just sat down and we made music with different shakers or whatever, clapping things together, because I don't remember what happened that night, but somehow can make the music sound work or something. And so we just came down there and we pretended we had the music, and added to it, but it was fun.
Were you ever a cast member in one of these road shows, or were you always just behind the scenes?
Just behind the scenes. Yeah, I didn't participate in any of them, but it was just fun. And like I say, my friend Dorothy, we grew up together in Mesquite, and she lived down here. We lived in a neighboring wards. But anyway, like I say, she would win all the time, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to watch and see what she does. And then of course, that was fun. And she lives up in St. George now, and we laugh about the times that we had and good experiences, and the kids loved it. They truly did.
Why do you think the road shows were such a big part of the Stakes culture? What was the draw?
Well, I think the fact that the youth were able to participate, and it was them who was there, and so people came to see their families and how they, and they appreciated them being able to, their children being able to be a part of all that. And it just kind of pulled us all together, and it made us united. And like I say, it was funny too, because road shows, we used to perform at one building, and then we'd hurry and get in the cars and go to another one, and that got to be kind of old, so I'm glad that they decided to have it all here. And of course, the stages were a different size, so you really have to adapt. But those were good memories, and I've often thought, the kids don't know what fun we had years ago, or what the youth were able to do, because they don't have those same kind of memories. And sometimes I think, oh, wish they'd still do them, but nonetheless, I wouldn't want to be in charge. A lot of work, but it was just good times.
You mentioned that sometimes non-members would attend some of the road shows. Do you feel that there were any spiritual experiences that happened as a result of road shows?
Well, I think just being around the youth in our church, and being a part of, and being drawn in, and they welcomed their friends that weren't members, and I just think that they could tell a difference in people, in the youth, in friends they may have had, and those that took them into their group and let them be a part of our youth group. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Do you have any other experiences with this building that helped build your testimony of Jesus Christ?
Well, my children were baptized here, right, Marcy? Yeah. And I don't know. I remember when we would have state conferences, and I remember Von Featherstone. I remember him being here and being able to get to know him a little bit and visit with him. And I remember, I don't remember if he's the one, but I remember sitting back here, like in a chair like this, and he came walking down, and he was walking right here, and I thought, okay, I'm going to shake his hand when he came to himself, and he started coming down, and so he came right over to him, and he reached out and shook my hand, and I thought, wow, I didn't really have to do much of anything, but that was exciting I don't remember which general authority it was at the time, but, and I remember Thomas Monson coming and visiting in this building, because I think it was his mother-in-law whose parents were the mission president here at the time. Something to that effect. And anyway, does that answer questions?
Yes. One more question is, well, I guess going back to the road shows, what was the hardest thing? Two questions. So what was the hardest thing about the road shows, and was it difficult getting people involved, whether it was behind the scenes or as actors in the road shows?
Do you know, there's always it takes a group, not just one person, that does a presentation like that, or whatever the activity may be. It takes lots of people, and people just work together, and we were very united, and I felt that. And the youth got along really well, and we working with the youth, it was a choice experience almost for me as I think back, and having been called to serve in the various capacities to work with the young people. And I don't know, I'm getting so old I forget a lot.
Even though we don't do road shows anymore, do you feel that they've had an impact on the stake since then? I mean, has it helped, I guess, build testimony in other generations as well?
Well, I think it does. I mean, anytime you do things together and you're included and maybe made to feel a part of the group, and I think our young people are good at doing that when there are others that may be a little backward, or perhaps they're not even members. But I think our young people are real good at drawing them in and helping them to feel a part of things, and that's just what people do.
Thank you.